Wow, I can't believe it's yet again. We're here for another laser live stream. You know, I almost made a mistake. I used to do a daily stream on a completely different platform, and the name of that stream was two L's as well. It was called the Lockdown Live Stream, and I almost every time I start, I'm like, "Welcome to the Lockdown Live Stream," but it's not the Lockdown Live Stream. It is the Laser Live Stream. Welcome. This is our second last stream for 2021. I can't believe we're already there. Number 30 for the live stream. We've done this 30 times. Welcome everyone who's here live. It is so cool to be here and to hang out with you guys. I gotta be honest with you, it's the highlight of my week. And you guys have no idea what kind of week I've had. I actually thought I was gonna make it. I literally, before I actually went live, thought, you know what, I'm not going to make it because I had a little bit of a breakdown with a piece of software. I had to recreate everything that we did, or everything that I'm going to show you today, literally in 20 minutes. And I thought, I'm going to be late. But it is 6 o'clock. It is the live stream. Welcome, everyone. I want to just jump into the chat room because I see people right there, right over there. And it is so awesome to see. I see Mike from Brisbane was in here early with his thunderous Lion King voice saying, "It is time. It is time for the laser live stream." Mike, it is good to see you, my friend. Very glad you were able to join us. We also see Stuart. Stuart's come in, and you know, I'm seeing the people who come all the time. This is part of the community we're trying to build. It's awesome. Who else do I see? I see Audrey as well, and I'm sure there's going to be a few more people coming in. You know what? Usually people come in like 10 after 6, kind of 10 after 6, but I'm trying to get it closer to 6 o'clock as a start. I'm starting to do my math. 2.5 minute pre-roll. You know, I found out, actually, it's kind of really, really funny. I found out streamers, like professional people, not like me, you know, just streamers, they do dance-a-thons at the start of their stream, right? So while the music's going, they're dancing, and I thought to myself, I don't want to put anyone through that. That could be a little bit creepy, right? I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens. Maybe next year, maybe we'll do a laser dance-a-thon. Knowing my luck, the laser might blow out my retina or something. I have no idea. Maybe that's not a safety. Maybe there's a safety video, or I don't know. We'll work it out. You guys know what's going on. Let's go back to the chat room. Some other people have joined us. Jen, the other part of Jamike. Mygen. I don't know what we're calling you, the two of you, but the other part, some people would say the better part of the Culver team is coming. Jen, I hope you're doing well. It's great. I see Keith coming in. Hi, Gil from California. I think, Keith, is this the first time that you've come to the laser live stream? If so, you've just become a laserologist. Welcome, my friend. Let me know if this is your first time or not. It is an awesome place. You're telling us that California, it's 11 p.m. there. I gotta be honest with you, I lived 10 years in Los Angeles. California is very close to my heart. So it's really great to meet another people. Team Culver, says Jen. Absolutely. So yeah, Keith, it's great to see you. Let us know if this is your first time or not. I do get better with the names as it goes along, but the laser live stream, that should have been the name for it in Hollywood, for Halloween. The laser live stream. I kind of felt like that today. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it is very, very cool to be here. And you know what? This is a very special live stream for a number of reasons. I'm going to go through it. But what I'm really excited about, this stream is all about you guys. It's all about the community sharing what you've learned and what you've done over the last year. And if I remember correctly, it's almost coming up to like 2 years that the live stream's been running. So I think it's pretty awesome. That we've actually been able to be there, and it's so great to see all the people who come every time we do a stream, and then people come and check the streams out. So much movement on YouTube in the last month. It is great. Keith's also sharing with us. Let's go back to the chat room. Jen saying yes, Team Culver 100%. Keith saying first time with the live stream live. Well, welcome. You know, it's a little bit of a different experience. You know, it's not as passive. And I'm really glad you've been able to join us. Oh, Keith, you've been watching your vids for a while? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really don't know. But either way, I do really appreciate the support. And if this is your first time here, you're going to get a little bit of a different experience, which I hope you'll come and join us again. You know, it's awesome to meet people. Comments are great. and I say this quite often, I love the live stream kind of experience because I make videos, cool, and then people ask me questions, that's great. But this is all about the interaction. It's all about the community, and YouTube's been really, really kind about that. So, it is really, really good to be able to have that experience with you. And I get excited when people actually come live in and hang out with us. We're a really kind of cool crew. I think it's a cool crew. A lot of people like to say that they like the interaction and being able to talk. I love the interview with Oz. Keith, thank you so much, man. Oz is a great guy. He is a fantastic guy. He's a maker at heart, and I'm also a maker at heart. I am concentrating on lasers right now, but that's okay. We all have our areas, and every time I talk to Oz, or Jason, it's kind of weird because I'm like, hey man, have you got 10 minutes? He's like, yeah. And next thing you know, we've been talking for 4 hours about everything, about lasers, Lifeburn, software, projects that he made in the past, projects I'm trying to make in the future. He's helped me out a few times, pointing me in the right direction for specialized equipment. He is an amazing, amazing person. And you know what? I've had people say, you know what? You're a shill, dude. You're a shill. You only talk about Lifeburn. You only talk about the Emblazer. It's because they help you out. And you know what? This live stream wouldn't happen if it wasn't for both those companies getting behind and helping us out to be able to put this together. And you'd be surprised how much time, how much equipment goes into this sort of project. But the truth of the matter is, I was using Lifeburn well before I was ever making YouTube videos. And I came from a piece of software called CamBam, and it's a good piece of software if you're doing CNC. We adopted it to use with lasers, and my whole experience changed with Lifeburn. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting the word out in Lifeburn, because it allows everyone to make, everyone to create. And with that, I do want to acknowledge that this project, this live stream, is sponsored by both Darkly Labs, home of the Emblazer range. If you're looking at getting a diode laser, especially if you're a teacher or if you're in a classroom or you want to work with children, the Emblazer is designed to be put into a classroom in an office without extraction, without cooling. Check them out at www.darklylabs.com, an Australian-made laser. And I've got to be honest with you, again, I love working with these guys because their service, their ability to be able to help the users is, I've never seen a company that takes so much effort and energy to make sure that you have a great experience. And of course, the other, we were just talking about Oz, we were talking about Jason, and that is Lifeburn software. If you're running a laser and you haven't tried Lifeburn before, go over to their website at www.lifeburnsoftware.com, grab a free copy, and change the way that you will create with light, because that is all what Lifeburn is about. And it's just really, it's one thing. I would be a shill if I was sitting here saying these things to you and didn't feel the way I actually feel. So thank you so much, Keith. It's great to hear that you enjoyed the interview. And I'm hoping Oz will come back and check out exactly what's going on. And in fact, I think I've got something organized with him down in a little bit. I'm sure a little bit. I know it's Thanksgiving over there in a day, so we've got to let you guys celebrate with your family. But you might see Oz again on the channel talking about Lifeburn and maybe even some of the projects. I'll see if I can tease that out with him. So it's very cool. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to deal with them. Let's go back to the chat room really quick. Jen said it's all about sharing our experience. I agree 100%, Jen. That's why we're here. That's why the Laser Livestream was created. That's why our community is coming together very, very soon. Very, very, we're getting stronger, baby. We're getting stronger. Lifeburn is fantastic and such a great tool. I can vouch for it. And I don't get anything from them. I just enjoy the software. There's a lot of people. Do you guys know? I'm sure you do. I've been making some videos trying to promote the community here on the Laser Livestream for a while. And I made a video that said, is Lifeburn ripping you off when Lifeburn's version went to 1.0? Because a lot of people were like, look at this. Lifeburn just up their prices by like $20 or $30. I kid you not, kind of got a death threat for making that video. People didn't watch it. They just said, how dare you talk badly about Lifeburn? And I was like, dude, watch the video. All I'm doing is just setting up a conversation. Is Lifeburn ripping us off? Or are they delivering these amazing tools? And of course, if you watch the video, I go through everything that was available at the time we made that video. I kid you not, I had people who literally were like, if I see you on the street, dude. So I was like, guys, I'm not gonna go that hardcore again. But you know what? That's all cool. Most people, I actually had a few people say, go watch the video. This guy loves Lifeburn. He's not bagging it. He's actually just trying to emulate, or at least have the conversation, because some people got really, really frustrated about it. And it was an eye opener. And poor Jason Oz was like, man, you're getting thrashed on the coals. I think they just took away all the down thumbs on YouTube, and I think we were up to 18. Like 18 thumbs down. Someone said to me, what do you do to get these guys offside? And I was like, man, I just try to get a title that would get people to watch. And ironically, it was probably the best working video at the time, best watched video. Because even if you didn't like me, you were like, what the hell is this guy gonna say? What are you gonna say? You know, clickbait works. I don't normally like to do it, and I don't do it. But in that time, it was a case. It was a weird case. Let's go check out what everyone's talking about right there in the chat room. Mike saying, I've been watching all the videos. Thank you so much, Mike. I really do appreciate it. Jen's also saying, you're generally passionate and sharing that passion, Gil, and we thank you. Thank you so much, Jen. You know what? I created this community because I wanted to be able to share what I'm most passionate about. It's no fun having toys and not being able to share it. And we're going to do a little bit of sharing, just a little bit of sharing. About some of the things you can do with these toys a little bit later on. But thank you so much for saying that, Jen. Stuart's sharing with us, Lifeburn has so many great features. What is not to love about it? So easy to learn and top support. I agree. Again, I love working with companies that support their users. I mean, you're not going to make everyone happy all the time, but my experience has been amazing. Keith saying, Lifeburn is worth as much as Corel Draw, the laser version. Cool. Lifeburn cost me 16 cents US per day. There you go. There you go. What more can you say? I'm blown away by the functionality in Lifeburn. I say it on the videos and I say it here. There are some functions that I use Lifeburn for, and then I actually export that result out and use it in third-party software. And I'm talking some third-party software like Adobe products. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier and faster for me to work in Lifeburn than it is to learn some of the tricks in. And you might be thinking, oh, Gil, you're talking about Photoshop or Illustrator. No, I'm talking about After Effects. I'm talking about video editing software. I'm talking about a whole bunch of things. So I'm saying, I guess I'm sharing with you that you get a little creative. You can use Lifeburn not just to run your laser. It's pretty cool stuff. Jen sharing with us as well. Yep, it's like the meme floating about mandatory vaccinations. Everyone getting antsy, thinking it's vaccinations. Don't judge a book by its cover. Well, I don't know about the vaccination stuff, but I do appreciate that. There's so many people who were writing in stuff that they were like, we're not going to watch a video. It's clickbait. And what was really interesting about it too is some groups actually banned me because they thought I was just kind of stirring up trouble. They were literally like, we want no negativity. I'm like, I'm all for no negativity. Just trying to have a conversation. But it's been interesting. Just the other day, someone came back to me and said, I know you're banned from our group, but can you want to come back and talk to us about some of the stuff you're doing? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You know what, everyone? It's all a learning curve. It's very, very cool stuff. It's very cool. Oh, we got some more. Keith sharing, if people would give up Starbucks one time a week, they could afford it. I'm 100% with you, man. And he's also said, I use Illustrator for my job. I use the I use the trace feature. Lifeburn is way better. There you go. You see? Parallels, my friend. Parallels. Right on track. Right on track. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And again, I love the fact that Lifeburn is just, it's Jason and a few people, and they are so much. Oh, vacations. Did I say vaccination? Mandatory vacations. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, Jen. Oh, I am. You see, this is what I love about live streaming. The show must go on. Even if I said the wrong thing, I'm so used to seeing posts all about vaccinations. And I read vacations. Yes, mandatory vacations. I'm going to have one very soon, in fact. Very soon. I think over the Christmas, New Year's break, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the live streams. I will still be around on Facebook, and maybe I'll do a little bit of stuff there. But we will be back in late January. That'll be my mandatory vaccination. That'll be my mandatory vacation. You know what? I gotta be careful because YouTube, YouTube is scanning this all the time, right? They've got all those like bots. I always think that, if you do an audio violation on YouTube, It's kind of like those bots in the Matrix, you know, those kind of squid things that went after the Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I see them. And maybe then when they hear me, they'll say the word vaccinations. They'll be like, he's talking about COVID. Cut him. Cut the string. Cut the string. But as long as we're still live, we'll keep going. It's kind of a weird thing. That's the point. Case in point. Thank you so much. Oh, well. Mike's also sharing. That was the whole point, what the actual word was. But I think people would change. See, I did it too. I'm on the fly here. I saw vax and I just said vaccination as opposed to vacation. So there you go. Very cool. Scorpions. Were they scorpions? I think that they had those little squid robots that went after them when they found the Nebuchadnezzar ship that they were flying around in. That's what I thought was. I always see that as the YouTube bots. Like they're flying around. They're like, oh my god, he said something. Grab him. You know. Cool. Cool. We got completely right off track, but that's okay. Every stream we like I like to put the intentions out for what we're actually creating here. It's not just about a live stream. It's not just about videos on YouTube, but my intention is to actually bring people from all around the world who are interested in lasers and technology and making. And I like to start my streams out by actually sharing those intentions every single stream. So the very first intention we have here is to build a creative and interactive laser community. That means we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see your projects. We'd love to see where you fail. We'd love to see where you succeed. We'd like to help you get to where it is that you would like to get to. And that all happens when we build a open and creative community. Our very second intention with the live streams is to support all laser users, whether you are using a diode laser, CO2 laser, a fiber laser, a laser pointer, a CD laser, a CD player. I don't care if it's got a laser in it and we can utilize it. It is no problem. We want to support all laser users. Our third intention with the live stream is to share the knowledge that you have, that I have, that we all have. No one is all wise and all powerful except for maybe Oz when it comes to Lifeburn. But we want to share our knowledge so that we can take our laser arrow and fire it further, because our bow is stronger to be able to push that arrow all the way through and be able to make some incredible projects and then share how we're going to create them. And our fourth intention is to learn from everybody. And I love this. Carl Jones said, everyone you meet knows something you don't know but need to know. Learn from everyone. Learn from absolutely everyone. And that is one of the things that I love about what we're doing here in the community. So it is amazing. So we are a community. You might be sitting there right now going, hey, Gil, that's really cool, but I don't know. I just watch you on YouTube. What are you talking about, community? How am I going to do something in the community? And I'm going to share with you right now how you can get involved. So if you want to get involved, first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. That allows YouTube to know people are watching this channel, watching the content on it, watching the laser live stream, the laser videos, the maker videos, all the things that we have made over the last couple of years. And that makes it a little easier for people to find the content. It's really important, or I feel it's really important, to be able to share the things that you're most passionate about. And that's what I do here every week and every 2 weeks with the laser live stream. And the other thing is, this is a live stream. This is not a video. If you're watching this after the live stream has gone live, please, we love comments. But if you're here live, feel free to jump in the chat. I will always acknowledge what is going on in the chat. Do not be afraid to converse in the streams. If you see something and you like it, please say so. If you've got a question, please put it out there. That is how we support and learn from everyone. If you're watching this or you feel for whatever reason that you can't get into the chat live, you can always email us at laser.livestream@gmail.com. That is our direct email. And of course, we have a Facebook group so that in between the live streams and the YouTube videos, you can come in and talk to all the amazing people who come out live with us and also share your work. It may be featured here on the live stream. And you can get to that group at www.facebook.com/group/laser livestream. That is an amazing way to be able to get involved. Now, there are two other ways that you can help out. If you wish it. And that is, first of all, if you're here live and you like something you're hearing or it has helped you out, you can go and do what they call a super chat. You can make a donation through YouTube. Some of it comes to YouTube, some of it comes to me. That goes live, and we always love to acknowledge when people have been able to donate towards the project. The other thing is, if you go down into the description, there is a one-time PayPal, one-time donation link where you can donate whatever it is that you would like, and you can actually help support this project. That is only a one-time thing. All of that does come to me. So depending on whatever you feel most comfortable about, everything that comes through YouTube and that PayPal link goes straight back into the live stream, whether it's getting equipment to be able to make this a little bit better, a little finer, whether it's buying materials so that I can test out things on the laser. That's where all of that comes from. And you know what? I actually really hope that one day we can generate enough that we can actually give back some. I would love to be able to support. I have this crazy idea of buying like an emblazer and giving it to a school that couldn't afford it. I would love to see that. We've got some work to do. I've got some work to do on that. That's my intention. I'm putting it out there. Let's go back to the chat room. Keith asking, Gil, what's some of your favorite features in Lifeburn? Keith, the simple answer to that is the things that I've been talking about, making videos about, but my number one feature that I love in Lifeburn more than anything is tracing, and just behind that trace feature. It was something that I could never get working in Illustrator or get it working in Inkscape very well, even though it's the same engine as they use in Inkscape. Who knew that Lifeburn would actually have a user interface that I could get perfect results every time? The next one is print and cut. Print and cut changed how I use my laser. In fact, it was one of the very first videos where I did a tutorial going through how to get successful projects done with print and cut. I love those features. But you know what? Hang out there. There's going to be a video where I go through all of the features that I use almost daily when I use Lifeburn. That's a great question, Keith. Thank you so much. Nir's coming all the way from around the world. He's in Israel. Good morning to you, Nir. It's great to see you. Stuart is asking, any word about Adrian? Now, Adrian, who comes into the live streams all the time, he's been in and out of hospital the last couple of days. I did speak to him in the Facebook group. He swore black and blue that he was going to be here. I hope he still is here, is able to come in, only so that we know he's okay. If he's not, then I'm going to do my best to follow up with Stuart. Either way, I know that myself and a lot of people in the chat room were thinking about you. Adrian, we hope whatever it is that's ailing you and causing you to go and spend some time in hospital, we hope that you heal from it quickly, because mate, you're a big part of the community. We love the work that you do, and it wouldn't be the same. So we've got a bit of time going. So I'm hoping that Adrian will pop in and he'll be able to let us know that he's okay. Jen, also, I love the trace feature. There you go. It's what got me started in Lifeburn. Second to that is the weld feature. Welding feature is pretty cool, I must admit. It really is good. Jen saying, oh no, if you're watching the replay, I hope you're okay, Adrian. There you go. You see, lots of love coming to you, Adrian. I have no doubt about it whatsoever. Just yesterday, I actually said to him, hey man, if you're not feeling well, it's cool. We'll miss you. But don't worry about the live stream. It's all good. And he was like, no, I'm definitely going to be there. So, you know, he's got me a little nervous. Just a little nervous. But Stuart's also saying, thinking about you, mate. Let's put all those good vibes out there. You know, but he's one of us, man. He's a laserologist. He's been here since the beginning. It is awesome. You know what? I forgot to, when I was going through all the ways that you guys can actually help out and support the stream, one of the simple things, and I forgot all about it, is if you guys like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up button. Again, that gives a little bit of feedback to YouTube to say, hey, man, we love what you're doing. And again, it just makes it easier for people to find these streams. So it is very cool. All right, let's go on and let's talk about the things that we're going to go through here tonight. I always plan to make these streams like an hour long, and I always seem to over deliver. It's always. So I'm going to try and keep it on to that hour, but we'll see what's going on. Let's see what we're going to be doing here tonight. So first of all, we're going to go through the Laserologist Showcase. That's where we're going to showcase all the amazing work that's happened in the last 2 weeks. It is pretty amazing stuff. And I've got a lot to show you tonight. The Facebook group has exploded in a really positive way. Then we're going to go through user tips and tricks. These are not coming from me. These are coming from you. Over the last few months, we've been asking people to submit their favorite tip and trick using a laser. We're going to go through some of those. And we are also going to go through the good, the bad, the ugly of material that you may put into your laser. Is it going to work out? Is it going to start a fire? Is this the sort of material that you never want to put in a laser? We're going to go through all of that. That and more here on the Laser Livestream. I just realized I should have brought some water with me, but you know, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Before we move on though, Stuart also saying tracing is my favorite, as well as node editing. Starting to get into node editing. I started doing that with a project where I'm finishing that model just up there. That's my Thunderbird 1 model in silhouette. And I wanted to make some masks for some of the speed lines. And I think I made a video all about it where we're going in and changing nodes and then flipping them around and stuff. It is really kind of cool. I'm not very strong, or I wasn't very strong using Illustrator and things like that. I have just been kind of learning, but a lot of that has been through the experience I've had editing nodes on Lifeburn. So it's really cool. But we have so much fun. Ooh, yeah, we always have so much fun. Mike's saying we have so much fun, but I'm not too sure what's going on there. Okay, that's cool. And Keith agrees with Stuart. Tracing is your favorite, as well as node editing. There you go. It's very cool. All right, let's jump into the Laserologist Showcase. But before that, I did mention to you that there is a little bit of a celebration here on the Laser Livestream. For those of you who don't know, the live streams have been going on for the last 2 years, but before that, I was sharing my maker journey here on YouTube for probably the last 6 or 7 years. It started off with a trip that I took to the US to go and hang out with some very popular makers, including Jimmy DeRista. I then traveled to Brazil and did a little bit of work with the community there, setting up maker spaces. And then as I would go along, I would actually be able to, as things would happen, whether or not I was talking and spruiking the maker community here in Melbourne, or whether or not I was actually working on projects, I would try and share them. And it was a bit of a slow start. In fact, it was incredibly slow. And what happened this week was that we actually hit 5,000 followers here on YouTube. This is, if anyone's got a YouTube channel, anyone is trying to develop their own community, it's a big deal. So while we have hit 5,000 followers and I started making the tutorials to really promote the laser live streams and build the community, it's kind of taken off, which is really, really nice. And in the last week or so, I think it was actually 2 days ago, we hit over 5,000. So I want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who was involved, because I could not have done this without the laser live stream community. Thank you, every single person who either came live for the live stream. Oh, wow. Oh. Well, hey. Oh. I am. Oh, sorry. For a second there, I thought I wasn't talking. I'm sorry about that, guys. But what I was trying to say was thanks to everyone who has been able to help out. Whether you've come to the live stream, whether you've watched the replays, whether you've watched the tutorials, every single view, every single comment, whether they're positive or negative, they all count. And it is just amazing to be able to sit here and hit a milestone like 5,000. So it's very cool. It's something that you think when you start, you're like, dude, I'll get 5,000 in a month, man. Like I am cool. I can do this. Like it's gonna be great. And yeah, it's nice. I actually had, it's an interesting thing. I'll just share it with you just to show you some of the kind of like what it means to be able to go and actually get this done. When I first started my YouTube channel, no one knew who I was. And I struggled to get 100 subscribers so I could get my name on the YouTube channel. And then I went and hung out with Jimmy DeRista, and as a goof, I was in one of his videos, and I said, make this guy look good, and you know what, we'll just we'll see how many followers I get. And I got like 1,000 followers in like 24 hours. Thank you, Derek. How you doing, Derek? Good to see you, man. Oh, well, see, Derek was involved in this channel when I used to run a thing called Makers Monday. and I used to interview people. I would cut myself out of them and then just try to introduce them to the community. And I did that for 3 years, and we slowly grew, but nothing like what's going on now. So it's good to see Derek. It's great to see him come on and say hello and support. Thank you, my friend. I know you've also got a channel, so it gets a little hard. So those 1,000 people who came in for Jimmy DiResta, they wanted Jimmy DiResta for 2 years. That subscriber count never moved, because as I would gain a new subscriber, someone would jump off because they subscribed for Jimmy. And that's cool, man. I got it. So, it's like for 3 years, it sat there at the same mark. It was really frustrating, but over time, I was able to get that audience, the people who wanted to follow me, and then like continue to build on it. It is unbelievable to think that I never thought I would get there at all. And, it's a small mark, but it's just amazing. And I want to thank it. Like I said, it's not, I didn't do it. You guys did it, honestly. Every person who said, you know what, I like what this guy's doing, let me follow him, I don't want to miss out on the next video, or I don't want to miss out on the next live stream. So, you're only as good as the people behind you and, supporting you and pushing you up. So I really wanted to acknowledge everyone on the stream and just thank you so much. And yeah, you know what? Here's to the next 5,000. And you know what? Let's see if we can get as many people involved in laser cutting and getting creative. That's my goal, man. We'll do it. We'll get it done. All right. Now that I've gone, I need a moment. I'm weeping here. I'm weeping. Like, I really am. It's I didn't realize I was so emotional about this. I thought, we got 5,000. I should acknowledge it. But it means a hell of a lot. It was a hell of a journey. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Audrey, Jen, Derek, and Stuart, who all, congratulating me on that. Oh, Mike, you were talking about the relation to the 1 hour time limit. Yeah. And I also like to talk, so it doesn't happen. It's not a bad thing. Guys, let's jump in and see some of the amazing creations that have happened in the last 2 weeks, because the follower group, the count has grown, and we've also grown in the Facebook group. We are getting some amazing work that people are sharing. So let's go through some of that, and I think it's just so cool. Our very first piece is from our own Mike. Mike, I don't think Mike's he's not in the chat room right now, but I love this piece. He went and created a house with his laser. You look at all the brickwork. It is just so cool to be able to see. I think there's a little bit of 3D printing, printed fireplace there. There's a little bit of Lego. This was cool. I don't know if this is for him or maybe for his child, but this is the sort of thing that I would make in a heartbeat. And it is so cool to see the techniques that people will share with us, and then other people go and create, and just super inspired to be able to go out there and make what it is that they're passionate about. So, I think I have a few Lego men out around the place. I've got to go, I'm a little inspired to do this. It is very, very cool. Mike, such a great job, man. I love it if you could share some more pictures of that piece. You know what I really like more than anything else? I love the scuba diver that's coming out of is that a sewage pipe on the left? That's so cool, man. That's so creative. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is cool. Lego works well. Lego is amazing. All right, so Marcos isn't in right now. Usually he comes in. Hopefully he'll come drop by. But Marcos was making some hangers for a child, different size hangers. Again, just very creative. Marcos has done some amazing sign work, and he's continuing to do so. So Marcos, thank you so much for sharing that. Again, this is another variation of these hangers for clothes and clothes sizes, especially if you've got a little one. And it is always amazing to see other people's takes on an idea. It's one of the things that I get so excited about seeing in the Facebook group. Now, Karen is a new member to the the Laser Livestream family. She's a new laserologist, and Karen was sharing one of her this, believe it or not, is one of her first projects. So this is obviously a signage for is it Ren's or Renee's 50th birthday party. It looks like a chopping board with some letters put on there. I'm not going to say it's simple to do, but it's classic. It's simple as in not the execution, but the concept is so great. I love this idea. grab some letters, grab some material, put it into your laser, put them onto the existing things. You know, you can create almost anything that you want with a laser, and this is just so well executed. I really love that piece. Well done, Karen. Now, Jan also is a new member to the Laser Livestream family, the Laserologists community. And this was one of the things that she shared with us. And again, this is really practical, but she made some shelving with her brand new laser. So it's a little dark in the photo, but if you can see, she's made these stackable shelves that she's going to use for storage around her computer. And again, these are the things, you get a laser and you go, hey, you know what am I going to make with this? And I love the idea that people are like, hey, you know what? Shelving. I need some shelving. Let's go and see. Let's get some material. Let's cut it up. Let's see what I can do. What's great about this is I've got a feeling that maybe Jan, and this is my own interpretation, Jan had an idea for using her laser to make this straight away before, coming on board maybe some communities. She worked it out. She made it. I know a lot of people will come in and try to emulate the work that they see on different Facebook groups, maybe here on the Laser live stream. It's always great to see someone come up with a project that they needed to make, or they really wanted to make. So Jan, my hat's off to you. This is great. This has actually inspired me. I remember that when I first got my Blazer, one of the very first things I wanted to do was make some shelf dividers, and I haven't made them yet. I was just too busy trying to learn the software and teaching other people. I think over Christmas I'm gonna have to make some shelf dividers and show them in Jan's honor. That's awesome, Jan. Thank you so much. Moving right along. Let's see who else is here. Graham, our very own Graham, has shared these amazing, and look at these things. These are really cool. These are amazing Christmas tags that he's made for gifts. And I actually went, okay, hang on a second, Graham. Either you have just stumped everyone, or you've worked out another workflow. Because I was looking at these and I thought to myself, you know what? Did Graham use some markers to color them in? Or is there something else going on? And Graham was kind enough to share with me that he claims he cheated. But I think this is a genius move. He was able to get some solution that seals paper. He printed out these tags, he sealed them, then he actually laminated them to a piece of material and then used the laser to cut them out. So that's actually paper that's been printed on a normal desktop printer, sealed, laminated onto a piece of material, and then cut with the laser into the shape of the tag. What a inspiring project this is. When Graham explained to me his workflow, it is just amazing to realize that the old art of decoupage can be applied to laser cutting. I just thought to myself, man, I've got so many different kind of ideas that just went boom. Wow. Keith's asking, is it sublimation printing? It's not. This is just paper, as I said, sealed and then laminated with the sealer onto a piece of material, and then it is laser cut. So why are we just limiting ourselves to the same materials when we can start getting inspiration from techniques that have been around forever? And Graham, thank you so much for sharing that. I almost put this in a tips or tricks, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna honor Graham and keep it in the Laserologist Showcase, because it is just an amazing piece. And whoever gets these Christmas tags, I think they're gonna be blown away by the result. Awesome. If you are interested in sublimation printing, I think definitely try this out first. This is a very, very cheap way to get a very cool result. Thank you, Graham. This is something I've already listed down. I've got ideas. Let me tell you. And if you guys have hung out at the Laser live stream or on the videos, you probably know where these ideas are going. Oh my gosh. This is a great idea. Opens up many parts, says Stuart. Absolutely. Should do that for a pirate map. Laser cut the burnt map edge effect. Wow. See? I love this idea. This is why we share what is going on. Mike, I want to see that project. I want to definitely see that. That's awesome. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that is Dor. Dor's I don't think Dor has turned up live yet, but Dor's been playing around with with tiles, and he's been doing something a little bit different. He's been laser etching on the tiles and then using alcohol dye pens to actually put color onto the tiles. These are some of his examples. Let me just move in a little bit closer so you can see kind of some of the effects he's getting. This is something that I've been seeing going on in the Norton Den of Lasers with Nicky Norton's group, and a few other people have been playing with the idea of like etching a tile and then using different types of inks to color them. This is something that is really, really cool. I kind of want to get my hands on some ink, some of those alcohol ink pens. That'd be really cool. Maybe we get lucky and get a donation. I can go out and get some pens from Amazon or something like that, and then actually try this and share it with everyone. But Door's just been going at it for the last couple of weeks, kind of trying to use different techniques to see whether or not what the results can be on these tiles. And these ones came out beautifully. Almost looks like the same texture as like an old school printing press, you know, where they physically put a press onto some ink, you know, and push it down, and it's almost like the pressure isn't exactly tuned in to be 100% print, and it kind of feels like that to me. It gives these tiles texture, which is so amazing. It is just really, really cool to see. So Dorth, again, you know, I look at these things and I'm like, I want to try that out. I really, really want to. Adrian, hang on a second, my friend. Adrian, we were talking about Dor. Adrian just came in. We were worried about you. We were talking. If you go and watch the replay to this, Adrian, are you okay? Did you have to go to hospital today? We were all talking about you. We wanted to know if you were okay. I was putting out the possibility that you may come in a little bit later. And it's so good to see that you're okay, because you had us all worried, mate. You really did. You're an important part of the stream and the community. So I can see everyone, Stuart, Audrey, everyone's... look at it. Adrian's disrupting the live stream. Maybe we should kick him out. No, of course not. I'm just joking. Good to see you, mate. Let us know in the chat room what is how you're doing, and we'll get back to it with just going through some of the work that's come through. And let's get back to it. It's going to take about 30 seconds for Adrian to get back to us. Do I wait? How about we just we'll move on to the next one, and we can always jump back out. So the next piece is from Amber. Amber's another brand new laserologist to the laser livestream community, and one of her very first projects was to create this sheriff keychain, which is awesome. Again, you know, brand new to the laser community, to operating a laser. Bang! Look at what she's being able to create. And I'm going to make an assumption she's doing that with Lifeburn, which is awesome work. It really is. And Amber didn't just stop there. She also created... Oh, sorry, this is another Amber. I got mixed up. But the other new Amber to the community also created these Slate Tiles. Now, I believe this Amber is actually in the military, so you can see what she's been creating. But these Slate Tiles are amazing in the sense that when you engrave them, you can see the different types of textures that you can actually create. It's very similar to something we're going to talk about a little bit later, about the idea of like engraving on a material that actually lightens up the material. So you can see there's a whole selection of these slate kind of buttons with motifs that are taking a military slant. It's very cool. So Adrian's also sharing with us. Let's go back. We'll go straight to the chat room. Adrian's saying he hasn't slept much, about 3 hours and 2 days. Mate, I'm not too sure what's going on. I'm glad that you're a little bit better. I'm sorry to hear that you're sore. On meds, do not use your laser when you are medicated, my friend. Don't make me come and take away all your fun laser toys. But it is very cool to see that you're safe and that you're feeling better and you're on the mend. You had us all worried, my friend. It is pretty cool. Stuart sharing, that's lovely how this is a worldwide community. It is, absolutely. I love the fact that everyone is you know, it's everyone around the world. That's the potential we all have here with live streaming and sharing our passions. It is awesome. Awesome. Now, I think, I wanted to share they're talking about around the world and I hit the button accidentally, but this is an amazing tile that came across on the Laser Livestream Facebook group. This is done by Alan. Alan's, again, another brand new member or brand new laserologist to the Laser Livestream family. And Alan made this amazing tile of Wonder Woman. This is the original Wonder Woman. This is the Wonder Woman that I grew up with, Linda Carter. And we saw this and it was like, wow, this is stunning work. And if I remember correctly, this is actually done in layers where a layer of paint has been put down. Alan's lasered it, and then he's used another layer of paint to try and get some of the graduated kind of texture on the tile. But wow, this is so cool. Adrian must not be feeling bad if he's buying a third machine and a water chiller tonight. You make me think, did someone run you over with a car and you're taking the money and buying more lasers? Either way, man, I don't care. I'm not judging. Just keep yourself well, no matter what happens, my friend. That's also... Audrey's asking, is that Wonder Woman? Yes, that is Wonder Woman, the 70s Linda Carter version of Wonder Woman. And it is an amazing image of her. So, old school Wonder Woman. Alan, fantastic job there. We also, John Baxter came in. John and I were talking. He's taken his passion of wood turning and actually combined it with laser cutting and engraving. And you can see here some of the brand new pieces that he's been making. Obviously, you can see it from the left. It is a clock where he's engraved an owl. You can see a reverse bowl, and as well as a bowl with a moose at the end. This is... Again, I love it when people mix mediums. This is so cool. He's making these on lathes, a wooden lathe, and then he's taking it to the laser. So it is really, really cool to be able to see what he's being able to create. And in fact, he even had these two pieces as well that I wanted to share with you. So you can see the creativity by using a laser, by learning the software. He's actually able to take something that he's been able to craft traditionally, and he's taken it to the next level. And again, these are awesome pieces that inspire me. Oh man, I've wanted a wood lathe for so long. I have a metal lathe, and it's kind of hard to put a piece of metal into a laser unless I've got an industrial laser and a whole lot of marking spray on it. But wood lathes, I think, are pretty awesome pieces of equipment. And look at what's being created. It is awesome. I think I just went up like 4 octaves there. What the hell was that all about? It was crazy. Amazing, so nice, yeah. Now, as usual, I get so caught up with talking to everyone in the chat room and then going through what everyone's made. We come up to the 50-minute mark, and I'm like, what? I haven't even started on what we wanted to talk about. So let's just jump straight in there. Let's see how we can get through to it. This is tips and tricks from the community. We've been asking people to submit their own tips and tricks that they have learned using a laser. As it says here, using your laser is an exciting learning experience. It can be really rewarding, showing someone a new way of being able to get a result out of the laser. And tonight we're going to be sharing some of those tips and tricks that have been sent to us by the laserologists in the Laser Livestream community. But I do want to acknowledge, I do keep my eye open, and I see DJ Rock and Rob. That's a new name to the Laser Livestream. So first of all, I want to acknowledge you, Rock and Rob. Welcome. Let us know if this is your very first time here at the Laser Livestream. If it is, let me know where you are around this amazing globe of ours. And you're asking a question, can you touch on cutting tips to minimize burning cleanup? We can definitely talk about that. I don't think there's any tips and tricks dealing with that, but just very, very briefly, if you are getting kind of a burning mark when you are cutting some material, I've got 2 suggestions for you. The first one would be to try and power down your laser. So if you're cutting at 100%, maybe try it at 90 or 85. You may not have to slow down the laser at all to get through the material, and see if there's a charring there at all. See what happens. And then the other thing that I would say is if you've got some masking tape, some of the blue painter's tape or just normal masking tape, mask the area that you're actually going to cut. See that using a masking tape, you can leave your laser at 100% and actually be able to cut through and stop some of that burning marks or charring that goes on. If I am just assuming that that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about the actual mark as it's cutting through, let's say the thickness of the material, that's another thing altogether. Rob, you are there in the chat room. I would love it if you'd let me know if that answered your question or if you had something very specific, because we're all here about trying to help things out. Rob definitely did say that it's his first time, just moved to Portland, Oregon, originally from Texas. Love Texas, especially Dallas. Love the space program, especially NASA. I went and hung out with them in 2019 before COVID hit, down in NASA in Texas. Texas is a big place. You're probably not from there at all, but it is cool that you've been able to join us. Thankfully, you moved a little closer, so the time difference isn't too much of a problem. But it's great to see you here. And again, welcome to the Laser Livestream. We're gonna continue, and if Rob wants to let us know if that helped him out or not, that'd be kind of great. So as I was saying before, this is tips and tricks from the community, and our very first one comes from our very own Mike Culver, who happens to be in the chat room right now. So he can comment to this too. This is something that I love to do when I am working out a new project. If it's got to fit something, I usually use cardboard to do a shape test, see if I can actually make the pieces fit together without actually using the material that I'm planning to use. And Mike's, you can read it right here. Mike's main tip is to use corrugated cardboard for quick cutting test, cutting a shape and seeing that it'll confirm or conform to what it is. And the example he showed us in the Facebook group was that he made these amazing door handle signs to remind him, did you shut the gate, or did you need to feed the dog, or did you grab what it is that you wanted or needed to grab before you left the house? Cardboard is an amazing piece of material. It's really easy to get. I would suggest that if you eat cereal in the morning, keep all the cardboard boxes. They cut incredibly quickly under a diode laser, even faster when it comes to a CO2 laser. And I use that all the time to make sure that I've got the right sizes on a project without it being too much of a problem. So cardboard, I can't speak enough about it. Just make sure that you've got your settings right, because cardboard can absorb energy very easily and it'll actually start to burn. You don't want to start a fire. Mike, thank you so much for that tip. I really do appreciate it. And everyone's going nuts in the chat room. Woohoo, Mike. Jen, of course, Jen's going to go nuts. Not cutting, but something I didn't realize till recently, that when engraving is not have the air assist on, that help minimize burn residue. Absolutely. In fact, I had that question recently on one of the videos when I was talking about engraving a tile. People were like, why do you not turn the air assist on? I personally don't turn it on, especially when I'm doing tiles, because it blows all the paint all over the inside of the machine, which means if I've got to clean it up, I've got to literally wipe down the rails. I've got to clean it all around. So what I mean, it is going to blow it off the tile, but I know the tile is not flammable, so I turn that that air assist off just so that, you know, it'll blow the paint particles up, but then they settle really, really quickly. So there you go. It's just something that you know, it's cool to hear that from you as well, Jen. We've also got it cuts quickly, says Mike, but don't leave your laser as it can burn. Absolutely. And Jen's also saying she did shut the gate. So let me, since we're on here, I wanted to know, you're gonna answer a question for me. Were those signs for Mike or for Jen? You guys let me know. Cereal boxes are another great tip. Yeah, absolutely. Have you tried engraving a photo on a cardboard? I have. You can do it. You just need to make sure that the movement is fast enough, or you need to pull down your power. You don't want to burn through the cardboard. And Mike's saying too, yes, engraving looks great too. Was testing for Secret Santa gift. Great minds, baby. Great minds. I'm waiting for the Mike Culver laser stream. It's going to happen, I'm telling you. Let's move on to the next tip here. And this actually comes from Elaine. Elaine Buford. Elaine shares her projects all the time. I didn't know how to explain this, so I thought I would read out what she wrote to me. She said, "Hi, Gil. I've recently taken to signing my work by leaving an arbitration? No. An attribution. Wow, I can't see. I'm so tired. Plate glued in an inconspicuous corner. I use colored popsicle sticks, lay them on a sacrificial board held on by a piece of painter's tape that is placed sticky side up. Many fonts don't go lower than 7 points, but they can easily be squashed and stretched in Lifeburn. These two were reduced to 3.2 points, but they can be made much smaller depending on the particular font readability at minuscule size. And check this out. I love what Elaine does. Here's the example. You've got a matchbox right next door just to show you exactly the size of that, and you can see the examples of these signature plates that she places on her work, and it is awesome to see this sort of kind of laser signature being put on work. It is really cool to be able to see, this idea. It's inspired me. I used to make templates almost like what do they call them, when you spray paint through them. What's the word I'm trying to get? I'm sorry guys, it's been a huge week and I'm working off a very little sleep, and have been kind of working 7 days a week for the last couple of weeks. So words usually are the first thing that I get lost when I'm too tired. But templates, not templates. What are they called? Guys, help me out here. I'm sure you'll do it. While that's actually going on, we've got a new member of the community who just came in. I just want to make sure that I can acknowledge them. Greetings from Cyprus, from Malcolm. Malcolm, welcome to the laser community. Let's jump in and out for a second there. I'm getting a little discombobulated, but that's all cool. Malcolm, thank you so much. You, I think, are almost as far as near when it comes to where you're watching from. It is great to see you. I know, Malcolm, this has got to be your first live stream live. So welcome. Really appreciate you coming along. You are the latest laserologist for the laser live stream. So thank you so much. And let us know, what kind of lasers do you have? It's great that you're here. It's always awesome to be able to meet new people, especially on the live stream live. Rock and Rob also sharing with us. Thank you for your answer. While testing with speed ramps power, I discovered a few settings that seem to evaporate the material with little or no burn. Of course, different material reacts differently. Absolutely. I'm assuming it might be plastic or plastic based that you're talking about evaporating, or it could be paper. Anything that doesn't char, that's not flammable, you won't have a problem with that burn mark. But definitely, with your answer, I'm thinking masking tape would be a really good way to experiment. Mike's helped me out. Stencils, that's what I was saying. I like making stencils to be able to sign my work. But now, with this, I think I'm going to try something like this as well. Elaine has been very generous to share a lot of her tricks, and you're going to see a few more things coming up. But those signature plates definitely do look good. I agree with you, Stuart. The signs are because if someone opens the front door and the hallway gate isn't shut, the dog can't escape. Jen, my cat got out of my window a couple of times because I left it open while I was using the laser cutter, and I know how you're saying. I know how you're saying. Or I know what you're saying. Not how you're saying it. What you're saying. But it's all good. Wow, so good. Guys, thank you so much for interacting. This is awesome. Rock and Rob says, I've been playing with multiple passes at lower power to combat full power cuts and charring that comes with that. Rob, what kind of laser do you have? What kind of power are you using? I think it's really interesting. I have a diode laser. I have the Emblazer 2 here, and they say it's like 5 watts worth of power, and it kind of works a little bit like a surgeon's scalpel. So I'm able to really control the power and get the result that I want. I'm wondering if CO2 lasers sometimes just kind of a little bit like a jackhammer, just keep pumping that power in. So you can change the power level, but again, it's not as kind of precise. That's one of the things I love about diode lasers. So let us know exactly what kind of laser you're using. Maybe that'll help us out. And keep saying, after I cut and engrave, I let my pieces sit for an hour so the glue sap dries and it's easier to sand them off. Great tip there. That's awesome. Rock and Rob's using a CO2 laser. There you go, 70 watt. Omatech. Got it. Yeah, CO2 lasers, you're gonna find that problem. If you're using wood, the easiest thing you can do is just take a little bit of sandpaper. Take like 300 sandpaper. If you've got to remove a lot of it, I'm thinking 240. Hit that with a little bit of sandpaper. You'll get all those scorch marks straight off, man. It is really cool. Malcolm also sharing that he uses 7 watt on his CNC. So he's changing out his tool head and he's using a diode laser on his CNC, which is awesome. Keith wants to know if those machines, those Omatech, are any good. You know what? I'm holding out to try and get a CO2 laser so we can actually do some of that work on the channel. We'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely go the masking tape route, especially if you're using a CO2 laser. And I would love it if you are able to let us know what the results are. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, the link is below. I would love it, Rob, if you would be able to become a member so that we can continue the conversation. I want to hear how your results are. So it's very cool. Let's jump back into it. Let's make sure where are we? That's where we were at. We're signing work. Well, Elaine, as I was saying, she also shared another tip, which is very, very cool. And that is that she's been using tabs, the tab feature in Lifeburn, to keep her work secure before she finishes the cuts. So if you are familiar with tabs, what they allow you to do is if you're cutting a piece out, sometimes, especially if you're using Air Assist, you can actually blow the piece onto another part of the workspace, and sometimes it will actually cut or block the piece that you're trying to cut out. So one of the ways you're able to do that is use tabs. But one of the things that Elaine doesn't like is that you see those little stripes, there's almost like a white stripe. Well, that's where she's separated the material from the piece that she's cut out, and she didn't like that. So she worked out a way of being able to disguise these so-called tab stripes. And there you go. You can see right here, they are all gone. But how did she do it? And this is really simple and really clever. What Elaine did was she went down and she bought a selection of felt tip pens that are various shades of brown, and she just uses them to match the charring color on the wood. But she also shares with us that it tends to vary depending on what the material is. So just going back, Elaine is going from those very clear tab to invisible tabs just using pens. And that is a very cool tip, especially when you're trying to get everything uniform. It is pretty amazing. Mike's already gone marker pens. There you go. Did you know that already, Mike? Oh, I didn't know. That's very, very clever as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's a very cool way of being able to keep your material looking really, really tight, really, really good. Cool. Malcolm's talking about his laser. It was cheap on eBay, but it works. Hey man, as long as you're getting the results you want, that is awesome. And Rob saying, my laser has been an amazing piece of equipment. Had to upgrade the resource. I'm looking forward to upgrading the Air Assist. I don't have any information I need to pull that trigger yet. Well, Rob, you know what? Definitely look around. There are some fantastic people out there who I'm sure will help you out. Let's jump to the next tip and trick. So we were right here when we were about the felt pens. Now, Elaine doesn't stop. I'll put this out there. I'm 2022, the year Gil interviews Elaine on the Laser live stream. She doesn't have to be on video. We can do this on a phone. I would love to talk to Elaine. Her creativity and the projects that we have showcased over the last year are just amazing. She also sent this trick in. How do you get an exact measurement every time with your laser? And if you need to get things perfect, the camera that is built into the Emblazer 2, or maybe you've got a camera that you've wired up in your laser so that you can pump that image straight down to Lifeburn. It is great to be able to get a very, very cool result. But if you need it to be precise, millimeter precise, what do? Well, Elaine asked that question, and this is her answer. She was able to actually put in a gluable ruler into her Emblazer 2, and you can see there it's the whole length both in X and Y in the first photo, and I zoomed in a little bit so you can see that it's running parallel to the work area. And I thought to myself, wow, that is amazing. Elaine was kind enough also to tell me what the model of ruler tape she got, and this is available in Australia at Bunnings for about $5. This is the Crest self-adhesive 2-meter ruler that you can get. I think I was looking at it today, and it's a little bit like, I think it's like $5.78 to be able to get one. This is something I'm thinking about putting into my own laser. This is a great way to be able to work out exactly where you might want to position your piece of material. So Elaine, again, working out some really, really cool answers to problems that are being solved. I've been using the frame and just, putting things, basically putting them on material. And, but if I move the material and I want to do another pass, forget it. I'm lost. This is definitely one of the ways that you're able to work out exactly how you can get a result every time. Elaine, amazing. And I think we're going to continue with Elaine's hints. So small and precise cuts. So what do you do when you need to cut something that's so small that you can't use the hand tools you have to do a precise job? If you guys remember, some of Elaine's projects will actually have moving parts. Well, she turned to her Emblazer 2. So in this case, she needed to make some shafts that would actually allow a piece to move around. And this is what she did. She was able to take a cocktail stick, or actually a skewer stick, and she taped it to a piece of material. And you can see there, it's a sacrificial piece of material. She taped it in place and then got her laser to actually cut exact parts out. So she made, I think it's like 10 pieces that would fit into her latest project. And she was able to do that with her laser, just doing 2 or 3 passes after she actually marked out what it was that she wanted to cut. Very smart, very cool thinking out of the box, which I think is really, really cool. And you know what? It's a very, very cool trick. Really easy, just using some masking tape, being able to get some precise measurements and cuts. And in fact, I believe Elaine actually stuck the skewer sticky side up on the material, so you can see there she can just roll those pieces out. It's not like they're going to go flying across the workspace. And that also allows you to use your air assist without blowing those pieces right across, so you can't use them again. I think that's pretty amazing. I say amazing all the time, but it really is. All right. Oh, I just jumped to the wrong thing again, didn't I? Sorry, guys. All right. Now, this is a really important one. This came from Laurie. Laurie is a brand new member. I know he watches these live streams live, but he's not a member of Facebook. But he sent this in literally last night, so I wanted to add this in. These are alignment brackets that work for the Emblazer 2. It is just super cool to think about it. If you've ever looked at an Emblazer 2, the inside has a very unique shape. And what he's done is he's made these alignment brackets that actually clip into the side of the Emblazer, which allow you to line up material in the same place every single time. And that is towards the origin point within the workspace. Laurie also mentioned that he engraved a tile, physically moved it out of the machine, washed the tile off, then put it back in and engraved it a second time. And it worked perfectly. The alignment worked exactly the way he was hoping. So these alignment brackets are very cool. Here's another example of how they clip into the machine. You can put them on the bottom and on the side, and therefore put a piece of material in the same place every single time. It is really awesome to be able to see this design. It's very clever. I'm surprised no one's actually thought about that before. But Laurie obviously thought about it. He thought out of the box, and this is actually this is the next project I'm going to cut on my laser. I want some of these alignment brackets. I'm sure you do too. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the plans for these alignment brackets available in the Laser Livestream Facebook group. If you're not a member and you want to get a hold of this design, check it. Come and join us at www.facebook.com/groups/laserlivestream. I know that Laurie is not able to join us on Facebook, but I just love this design, and I think that's the best way we're going to be able to send this out. So if you happen to have a Emblazer 2 and you would like this design, please come and join us. That is awesome stuff. Let's go quickly back to the chat room that's right there, because I see some very, very cool conversations about lasers. Rock and Rob was saying that he was choosing his laser based on bed size. Luckily, the laser tube was powerful too. There you go. Some people choose it for different reasons. And he's getting a rotary attachment, building one myself, but ended up asking myself why just buy one. Well, it depends. Sometimes people like that journey. Very clever. Malcolm saying that it's 10 a.m. in Cyprus. Right now, it is 7:10 at night in Australia. So we are literally on the other side of the world. Rob also sharing that he was happy to report that moving the laser across country 2,000 miles. The only problem he suffered was a broken door open-close sensor. You can definitely get that changed out. I'm all about safety here. I got to be honest with you. I am incredibly safety conscious. Don't use the laser unless you've got that sensor, because you don't want to keep it open. The chances of actually damaging yourself, your eyes, it only happens one time. You don't want an eye suddenly to turn off and never to turn back on again. And I'm not sure about your model of laser, but a lot of lasers are just little dip switches. So, get it changed out. Stay safe. You never know when you got it open, you hit that button, you're like, damn, I didn't expect it. I've even done that with the Emblazer 2. I actually had a way of being able to keep the lid open when I was doing a video, and even with the glasses, I shone stuff in my eye, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to do that again. So you got to be careful. Mike sharing that's very cool. Use the laser to improve the laser. Absolutely, Mike. I think that bracket is incredible. Great idea, Laurie, says Stuart. It's pretty amazing. I've got a feeling that Laurie will be watching us live. So thank you so much for sharing that. It was a really, really cool project. And if we go back, he's got one more. Laurie actually shared one last tip that he also wanted to share, which was that using magnets to keep material aligned in the Emblazer 2. This is his method. He uses small, thin magnets on the metal base just under the silicon mats, then uses a larger magnet that goes on top of the mat. So the thin magnet is now being magnetized to the larger magnet that's on top of the mat, inside the mat squares, and then he uses a larger magnet that is also attracting the material on the top to hold it. This is very cool. I like this idea. If you look at the photo on the left, you can see all his magnets lined up on the metal shelf. I need to go and get myself some thin magnets. It's one of the things that I put pieces of metal and stuff to hold it. I don't want to do that anymore. I like this idea of using 3 magnets, one on the base, one on the silicon, and then one on the material, which would create a very, very hard and safe or hard attraction and stop the material either moving when you happen to knock it, or if air assist moves that around. So you know what? It is pretty cool. I got a little bit thrown out because of the chat room, but let me read here. I had my first safety instance recently. Won't bore you with the details unless you really want to know. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think it's really important that people understand what the possibilities are when you're using laser equipment. Now, laser equipment used to be just in the domain of industry, right? So it was a work tool. Now that it's come into people's homes, it's all about understanding the technology, understanding what's at risk. So if you feel comfortable, I would love you to let us know what actually happened. I hope you're okay, first of all. And that's why I shared what had actually happened with me. Some people would say, hey Gil, you've been using the Emblazer for years and you still got caught out. Yeah, well, I didn't damage myself, but I did a thing called a laser flash, which meant for a little while after that, I was very aware of my eyeball. That's for sure. Okay, I'll start by saying we have learned our lessons, says Rock and Rob. All right. Now everyone's salivating to hear the story. So we'll see what's going on there in a second. DJ, did you shoot your finger? Well, actually, while DJ's actually going to write that out, I'll share with you a story that happened to me with a CO2 laser. I first came across lasers in a makerspace that I was a member of, and I was the head of the laser maintenance team, and we had opened up the machine to align the mirrors. And in CO2 lasers, you have a bunch of mirrors that bounce the laser onto the material so you can get an exact cut. And I actually had my finger in the path of the laser, The person who was working with me actually triggered the laser. And for a second, when he realized he had touched it and my hand was in the path, he only kind of fired it for, I would say, a second, but it felt like a hot knife went through my finger. And it actually, I've still got the scar. I try to show you, but it's out of focus. It's very small now. And what actually happened was that all the flesh and blood and skin cauterized instantly. And it literally felt like someone had heated up a needle and stuck it into my finger. It didn't go, it went to the bone in my finger, but there wasn't enough energy or power to actually go through the bone, so I was really lucky. It was all soft tissue damage. I did go and see a doctor, and the doctor was like, there's nothing really you can do. We just make sure that we sterilize the area so you don't get an infection, and you'll scar up, and there wasn't any nerve damage, but it was like, it literally vaporized this dot on my finger right to the bone. So like, you gotta be careful. Now that wasn't my fault. Like I wasn't near the trigger mechanism. It just happened that we were testing it, and he got a little. I'll see if I can find the video, because I have a video of us testing the laser on a piece of wood to make sure that it was working. And I think that was a 70-watt laser. I know they upgraded it to 110, but it was literally a flash, and it went right through the flesh on my finger, and yeah. Well, they do say if you're gonna bleed for your hobbies, right? But I don't want to do that. All right, let's go back to the chat room, and let's see what's going on. Keith's asking, did you shoot yourself in the finger? Jen's asking, well, go ahead and share so that we can be reminded by the importance of safety around a laser. I agree with that. Mike's also saying, you didn't do it again last week with the blue Band-Aid? No, Mike, that blue Band-Aid was not... Oh man, I'm never gonna wear a colored Band-Aid on my fingers again. No, that wasn't from the laser. That was from a crafting accident. Thank you so much. Gosh, I can't live it down. And it was 2 weeks ago, my friend. 2 weeks ago. See, it's all healed up. Mike's laughing at me. Jen said it's scary thinking about the damage that can be done by a seemingly harmless beam of light. Well, when you take those photons, those light photons, and you make them all move in the same direction, you are harnessing a lot of energy. I was actually explaining this to one of my classes, that the way we see is the light comes from the sun, right? And it bounces around or everywhere, in every direction, at the speed of light, almost instantaneously. And we have receptors in the back of our eyes that pick it all up. Well, if you can harness all that energy in one straight beam, and that's what our lasers do, bang, we can cut through things. It's pretty amazing. So Rock and Rob was saying, so the lid was open. I was sitting on a bar stool within elbow distance reaching when my wife was working very close by. I was recounting to her about the video I saw cleaning your laser. Okay, talking about how to clean the mirrors and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're supposed to lube the linear rail too. I can see where this is going. As I said those words, I pointed to the rail that supported the head while it was running and cutting. The lid was up. The lid was up. Oh, man, I've got to, yeah. This is like a nightmare thing. I'm not trying to belittle it. Wow. Okay. So you put your hand in there. What happened next? What happened next? Keith saying, if you own a CO2, do not turn on the fire laser option because a CO2 laser beam is invisible completely. It works outside the visible light spectrum. You will not see it. We've talked about the differences between diode lasers and CO2 lasers, especially why a CO2 laser will cut acrylic. A diode laser won't. You will have a better chance of seeing the beam on a diode laser. But either way, do not put your hand in the path. Do not. Rock and Rob, you still got all your fingers? That's what I'm worried about. I'm like on bated breath now to see what's going to happen next. Now, I know how painful it was when I had like a millisecond flash with the laser. My stomach dropped when you said the lid was up. Yeah, absolutely, Jen. The laser contacted my hand just below the index finger between my thumb. Oh my gosh. So you're talking about this webbed area just for a second. Wow. You know what? You don't want to cut this part. This part's a really important part of your hand too. You know, if you happen to cut that all the way through, your thumb will actually drop further down. So, did you actually did the laser go through your hand, Rock and Rob? Wow, this is just a nightmare. We needed you on Halloween. That's what we're going to do. It was an invisible beam of laser. You need to put a switch on your lid. Wire it to the board. 100% Adrian. Did you both have glasses on? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I saw a puff of smoke and thought to myself, that's odd. Yeah, dude, I guarantee you won't be doing that again. DJ said, Keith's asking, you don't have to change your name to Stubby, do you? Wow, that's a little too soon, man. Too soon. So, yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt, my friend. That's going to hurt. Especially with a CO2 laser. Rock and Rob, if you come to the Facebook group, send me a photo of your hand, please. It connected to the back of your hand. Did it go through? It was just a superficial burn. Wow, you're lucky. Wow, you're lucky, dude. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm glad to hear that it's just superficial. Also, you know, one of the things that a lot of people aren't aware of when it comes to CO2 lasers is the fact that, yes, you'll burn your hand, but you'll also get a radiation burn in that area because of the fact that a CO2 laser works in a different spectrum. It's not good for your skin. I mean, I'm sure you're not like, hey, but that's one of the reasons why lids should always be down, and that's why there's a piece of material either to look through. Even if it looks like clear glass, they'll use a special plastic, and that's actually to absorb all the infrared radiation and also the other radiation that's emitted by the laser because it's so high on the light spectrum. So just make sure that you don't. Well, you can do whatever you want to do. You're an adult, but I just want to share with you that you want to make sure that that you're as safe as possible. Rock and Rob saying it didn't hurt, but the scab was gnarly. You know why it didn't hurt? Because all the pain receptors just boiled off. That's one of the things that actually is pretty scary. That I actually realized that the damage I had to my finger was not the area that vaporized under the laser. It was actually the surrounding tissues that were all radiating pain. So you are incredibly lucky, and Stuart says that too. Adrian says infrared. Yep, absolutely. The infrared radiation, you got to be careful. I'm so sorry I didn't take any pictures, but it healed up in about a week. That's okay. I do usually try to take pictures. Rock and Rob, that's not a problem. I just wanted, I was just curious to see the damage. I'm very, very glad that you didn't have a permanent injury, man. That is pretty lucky. Just do it one time. That's it. Laserologists only get 2 chances. The third one, they lose body parts. Don't ask me how I know. I just happen to know. So anyway, very cool. Guys, I want to thank you all. Oh, hold on. We're not there yet. We've got another segment. What am I talking about? We got so caught up in Rock and Rob's story that I thought we were going over time. We're still on an hour and a half. We're getting there. So let's go to the good and the bad, the ugly. Let's talk all about material. Let's see if I can do this again. See if I can get those sentinels from the Matrix working. It is the good and bad, the ugly. This is where we talk all about material, whether it's good enough to put into a laser, whether you shouldn't put it into a laser, or whether you should never put it into a laser. And we're going to talk about denim today. It is a material that I've been looking at and seeing people have done some amazing stuff. Durable fabrics that are tightly woven, such as denim or cotton, can be engraved with excellent results. You can see in the photo there is a pair of jeans that have been engraved in a laser. And with your laser, you can produce beautiful patterns in a fraction of the time it would take to use traditional embroidering. You can even laser etch denim to create a crisp white engraving. Here's another example of some of the results that you can get with denim. And the settings to engrave denim are going to change depending on what kind of laser you're using and the power that it can produce. So always test your engraving settings, as they may change depending on the thickness of the material and the process that was used to finish and stain the denim. Also realize that denim can catch a light if you pump enough energy into one spot. So always monitor the process. If you're interested in this is something that I would love to be able to do. And I might have to show you guys how to do that. It's awesome. Let's see. Rock and Rob still sharing with us that he was left with a tiny scar left behind now, probably because I kept picking at it while it healed. I have a scar on my finger. I'll take a photo of that and share some of the people. It's just it's like a little dot, like someone put a needle in there. It's kind of weird. Adrian sharing that it's around 10,060 nanometers as in the shape of the wave. Jen saying our on and off switch is inside the laser, so you have to open a makeshift lid Mike made to switch it off. Jen and Mike, try to put a switch or use the switch on the wall. That way you don't need to go into the laser at all. I had the same problem with a piece of equipment. I was able to actually modify or get an electrician. The electrician, I didn't do it, to put a inline switch so I could turn it off. Or if you aren't able to do that, go to the wall and turn it off. Or if you've got a power board, pull the power plug out. That way you don't have to go and put your hand into a machine for any reason. Just another, there you go. This is a tip from me to you. Mike is going to remake it so the switch is on the outside at some point. Perfect. In the meantime, he makes me close my eyes. When I open the lid to turn the switch off, pull the power or switch it off at the wall. And in fact, I think there are extension cables that come with an inline switch. So you might want to take a look at that as well. So my wife turned to me and said, I guess we will cut. So I guess we can cut with the lid shut from now on. I agree. Your wife is very wise, and Jen thinks so too. You guys should totally join the Facebook community. We need another married double laserologist team. I agree with that. Rock and Rob says, she has always been smarter than me. I'm lucky to have such a great lady at my side. Behind every man is an even smarter woman. I agree. And so says Keith. Rock and Rob says, what's the name of the group? I'll join. If you go down into the comment section below the live stream, you will see a link to the Facebook group, but we'll share it before the end of the live stream anyway. The name of the group is the Laser Livestream Community. So if you put Laser Live, one word, stream, another, you will definitely find it. Mike says, good plan. And keeps saying DJ Laser Livestream. And as I said, there's a link right below. Very cool. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the chat room really quickly, what was your favorite tip or trick that was shared tonight? I would love to see this happen every laser live stream. So if you have tips and tricks, please feel free to send them to me, especially at laser.livestream@gmail.com. If you've learned something that you would like to be able to share with other people, maybe you've put your hand in a laser beam just like Rock and Rob, and you would want to make sure that people don't do it again or realize that they're able to, go and send them to me at laser.livestream@gmail.com. Rock and Rob, you don't see the link below? Wow, man. Let me I don't know if I can actually, maybe I can see. Give me a second. Look at this. Rock and Rob comes in and there's all this kind of specialty work. Rob, dude, you better come back, man. That's all I gotta say. Oh, it does? It goes to the wrong thing? Oh, hang on a second. That's not a problem. That's the Coach Tony Stark one is my maker site. But if you go down and you take a look at, you're right. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to change that. I'm sorry, guys. I will change that just after the live stream, because I must have gone to the wrong one. But Keith, if you're interested, you can actually check out some of the other maker stuff that I do on the Coach Tony Stark website. Not a problem. Very cool. Bubbly T, how you doing, Bubbly T? Look, all new people coming in. Bubbly T, welcome to the Laser Live Stream. You're the latest laserologist who has joined us here. Love it if you tell us where you're watching from on this amazing planet, so we can get to know you a little bit better. And Rock and Rob just joined the Facebook group. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Congratulations on 5K. Thank you so much, Bubbly T. I really do appreciate that. It has been a little bit of a journey, and I do appreciate that that people kind of see it and acknowledge it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Rock and Rob, probably going to get to the pending approval side of it after the live stream. Just hang in there. It'll all happen. Bubbly T, let us know before the end of this live stream where you're from. It is very cool. Now, guys, if you are working on Lifeburn and you are having some problems, or maybe you're brand new to Lifeburn and you haven't gotten past that little uphill curve, I actually run virtual classes and one-on-one tuition, and those sessions are now open. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me on laser.livestream@gmail.com. It is an awesome chance to be able to do some one-on-one work. Just early this week, I was working with some students at a school who had a laser. It wasn't in Blazor, but they were using Lifeburn, and they were able to talk to me about their project, and we were able to get the results that they wanted. So that's just another option if you are so interested, and those classes and those sessions are open now. So just drop me an email and we can discuss what you need and what you're doing. And it's always fantastic to be able to hang out with people and see what they are creating. Bubbly T, you are in Australia. That's cool. Is this the first time, Bubbly T, that you've come live here on the laser live stream? Let us know what kind of laser you have as well. That's really, I think it's going to be standard questions for everyone. Where are you watching from? What kind of laser do you have? Those two questions answer a lot of, it helps me to remember everyone, and it is just awesome to be able to see what's going on. Rock and Rob says, thank you for listening. Absolutely. That's why we do the live stream. It's not, you don't have to thank me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, coming in and being active. Also, thank you for sharing your story about the laser. I'm sure I'm going to have someone today go, have you ever put your hand in the laser, Gil? It'll happen. Jen's also saying that she will add DJ, but I can't see the report yet. It's called Laser Livestream, Laser Community and Support. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. It is very cool. Guys, I also want to thank, again, our sponsors for the live stream, both Darkly Labs, home of the Blazor range. You will catch their whole range of diode lasers at www.darklylabs.com. They are the home of the Blazor, as well as the guys at Lifeburn who help us out by just supporting the live stream and coming in and letting us know what's going on. And you can get a free trial copy of Lifeburn for 30 days at www.lightburnsoftware.com. I'm not just saying this, it will change the way you use your laser, so it is very, very cool. Bubbly T does not have a laser, but you're just watching. Absolutely, you are more than welcome. It is great to have you on board. If you're really interested in lasers and all the rest of it, feel free. You can also join the Facebook group, and the link will be below. I will add that in. But if you're really, really eager, you can always jump into one of the tutorial videos. The link is definitely in there. Rocket Rob says, yay, cool, guys. Well, you know what? As sad as it is, that is an hour and a half. That's usually what we go to. It's supposed to be 60 minutes. I always give more because I'm so excited to hang out with all of you guys. But that is the laser live stream for this episode. This is episode 30. We are going to have one more for the rest of this year. That is episode 31. That's our Christmas special. Do not miss out on the Christmas special. We're going to take a little bit of a hiatus and then come back in late January, and we're going to do this all over again. I look forward to seeing you. If you've enjoyed this live stream, feel free to give it a thumbs up. That helps us out immensely when it comes to people finding these live streams. And again, if you learn something and you want to help support that, you also do have the link below to drop off a donation if you feel that way using PayPal. Guys, I will see you. Well, you will see new laser content this Monday morning for Australia time, which is Sunday night for the US, as I will be putting out another Lifeburn tutorial. And if you guys really enjoyed that, you know, maybe someone is trying to learn something, it's always kind of nice to have someone point them in the right direction. Guys, I will definitely see something. I will definitely see you guys in 2 weeks. Until then, go make something amazing with your laser. And I will be looking forward to seeing all the things that you create in between. I will catch you later. Have a fantastic time. Stay safe. Don't cut off any fingers, and go make something amazing.